Hey, good evening. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I would just come out here and talk to you about some of my crazy decisions. And what I wanted to talk about most today was how I'm coming up on 5 years of not drinking tap water. There are a lot of things I think that could be said about that. I grew up really, really, really destitute poor. And of course, that's kind of a relative term because it was in the United States. So I still, like when I was homeless, got to sleep on people's floors and, yeah. But I couldn't afford, like fancy filtered water ever. I started this commitment during a time where I was struggling in every way, like financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, everything. But I was allowed to make my own decisions, so which I hadn't been for any part of my life before that point. So this was in 2020, and I decided that I would rather have the most basic things go right than, spend all my money having luxuries. So I don't pay for any subscriptions, and I don't have anything fancy, and I didn't have car payments. I didn't own a home. I didn't have anything really. So, Rosie, are you eating grass? Are you eating grass right now? She's just happily munching it right now. So it's coming up on 5 years. I stopped drinking tap water in October 2020. So we're almost there. And I'm sure, like, I've done research, I read books and stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of good reasons, and I'm sure there's a lot of research about why it's a hoax. So I don't really care. I just do it. So that's what I found that's really difficult, and I'm sure I would love to talk a whole big long thing about how you can do all your research, but there are always outliers, and science studies can be faked or rigged, and so you can do your best research, and then sometimes you just have to be the experiment. So that's how I live my life. I do a lot of experiments. People find me weird. I don't get along very well with regular people. It's been hard, but I feel good. So I started in 2020. I was 32 years old. I was really, really struggling. I had lived my whole life in poverty, and so I didn't get enough protein in my day. I didn't eat expensive food. I didn't exercise. I didn't have the money to pretty much do anything that would be good for your health. I just was surviving, and I had 3 children, and it wrecked my body, and it was hard, and I wasn't doing well, in large part because of that. Hi, Roses. I love you. I love you. You're so special. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You are so beautiful. Oh my God, she looks so good in the moonlight. You can't even see anything. You are so special. So, the first thing I noticed is I was 32, right? So, I didn't have my, special 20s. Now, I in my 20s was not, I was religious, so I did not drink or smoke or even drink coffee or any of that stuff. Not that that's super relevant, entirely, but just so you know, like, I didn't trash my body, but I also didn't have the resources to be good to it either. And so when I was 32, I was starting to wake up with like joint pain as if I had been exercising, climbing a mountain, something. But instead, it was just me waking up. And I'm sure there could be a lot of reasons for that. Rosie, what do you see? What do you see, baby? Yeah, you're my princess. You're my wolf. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, get up, honey. Yeah. I love you, baby. So I noticed that within 3 days of not drinking tap water, that I didn't wake up with that pain as often. Within 30 days, I didn't have that pain anymore unless I actually climbed a mountain and then I recovered the next day. Rosie, you got me a little scared, honey. After that, I'm pretty sure there were lots of other changes, but they were kind of sudden. They were kind of gradual, not sudden, and so I'm not entirely sure what I can speak on other than I felt better in a lot of ways. I feel like it took a little bit longer for me to heal, and it was, and then once I started, drinking filtered water, which I just filled up containers at the store at first before I could afford my own filter at home that just uses gravity. I don't use any electricity or anything for it. I think I felt quite a bit better because I continued with it anyway, so that's big. But one of the problems that I noticed, because there were some bad things too, is I noticed that it was really difficult for me to Rosie, you little superstitious puppy. Should we walk over there? You want to see if there's anything? Come on, let's go see. One of the things that I noticed that's kind of negative is I could drink water and it felt like I didn't ever get like my thirst slaked. And I felt like my mouth was weirdly dry even though I was drinking water, and it didn't matter how much I drank. It still was difficult to ever, but I was going to the bathroom a lot, like, so it was kind of a struggle. So I had to start incorporating like minerals and salts into what I was drinking in order to feel like my thirst was finally quenched, because I guess there's so much more to thirst than just water, and I didn't know that because I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything. So I started like using little packets to hydrate, or it really quenched my thirst to like eat an apple or watermelon or something. And then, good girl, Rosie, good girl. And then I also discovered that you could take like a little pinch of salt, and that would give you, like, especially if it wasn't like bleached salt, but more like mineralized raw salt, it would help. And once that happened, I felt so much better. I've tried a lot of different things that I can go into later related to water, like making sure your water is moving before you drink it and all that other stuff. But a real basic thing that's really helped me is just with like recovery and aches and pains and stuff like that, is just putting a lot less work on my kidneys and my liver, and doing some of the filtering outside my body. I used to have kidney stones and kidney infections, especially when I got pregnant. It really taxed my kidneys, and I could feel it. They hurt a lot. And it started to get better over time, and And I never have kidney, like in 10 years, in 5 years, I've never had kidney stones or infections of any kind. And as far as I can remember, I don't think I've ever in the 5 years had like a UTI, a urinary tract infection either. So I think there's some good and some bad, a little bit of mix in there where you have to adapt if you do that kind of stuff. Did you find a stick? Oh yeah, that's my girl. She's coming over here to me. But yeah, in addition to that, I'd like to say diabetes runs in my family and metabolic disorders and all sorts of things in general. So I don't drink soda. I really haven't been a fan of soda my whole life. So I don't, like, when I say that I drink filtered water, I truly mean like that's pretty much all I drink. I don't drink milk. Sometimes I have fresh juice, but even when there's like too much citrus in it, I can feel in my kidneys go, wow, that was spicy, stop, maybe because I'm like a white girl. But I think there can be so many good benefits if you can afford to invest in your health. Like, I can't afford to do much of anything. I haven't seen much of the world. I don't know any other languages. I don't have a nice car. I don't have any investments. I don't have a 401k. I'm pretty lame. Pretty poor. But I realize that in this stupid world we live in, the only capital I have is my body, and so I need to keep that in as best working order as I can. So in little incremental ways, I try to invest in my health because I don't have any health insurance. I don't really have much of anything, so I just got to make it work however I can as best as I can. So yeah, so no, some of the other things that I do that are extreme that I would like to do, a video on besides the 5 years of no filtered water. And this doesn't count if I go to a Thai restaurant and I order like rice and the rice is cooked in tap water. Like, the 80-20 rule is probably a pretty good, Rosie, you're bumping into me. It's probably a pretty good rule of thumb that, like, you don't have to be strict and adherent about it. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I've been really strict and adherent in the past, and it's better to just try your very best and then keep going. So other things that I've done is I'm coming up on 3 years of no sugar, no refined sugar. I've done 1,000 days of meditating before, and then I've also done like shorter ones, like 180 days with my husband, or like I'm currently on one where I'm almost at 70 days. Like, I just do sprints of it. I lived most of my life without debt. I've hiked some of the tallest mountains in the Rockies. Yeah, there's lots of different ones that lots of different challenges I've given myself. I don't think that I have any disorders or problems, but I don't know. I can't afford a therapist. I don't have any medical insurance, so I don't think I'm the best person to like conclude on that. But I'm sure a lot of people would be like, oh, you challenge yourself, you don't eat sugar. I've had a lot of people like at my jobs be like super obsessed with the fact that I don't eat sugar, or that I won't do this or that, and it's like, I'm doing just fine. I don't know why you're focusing on it so much. I'm just doing okay, actually. I mostly just tell people no thank you, and they offer me a certain type of food, like, oh, here's a cookie, oh, sorry, I can't. I'm allergic to gluten or something, and I've been without gluten for 3 years? No, 2.5. But people get really intricate with it. I don't want to go into the details of what happens if I eat gluten, or explaining that me not eating sugar is depriving myself of happiness. I'm pretty happy. I don't have any medications. I don't suffer from pretty much anything. I'm pretty lucky, actually, like, especially considering I don't have any health insurance, and so access to a lot of things is limited. And considering how high of a ACEs score I have and the trauma I've had in my background and stuff like that, I actually think I'm doing pretty well. I'm a normal weight, normal height. I did get my blood work done when I had health insurance for the last 2 years before this one. I got my blood work done for at least 2 years or 3. Everything is normal, so medically, whatever, you really can't say anything's too terribly going wrong with my decisions, but I'm sure everyone will have like some comment about it. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with not doing tap water for a while now. Now it's hard as a scientist. You shouldn't be doing multiple experiments at once, I know, but I'm doing like little experiments with my body, and I compile them. But year after year, my cycles have been getting a lot better. I really hardly feel them now the last couple of months. Like less blood loss, no anemia. Things have been really good. So, yeah, and I think some of that could be attributed to tap water because, you have no idea what pharmaceuticals are in the water and stuff like that. So, the fact that my cycles have gotten better, and I'm just a regular woman with a pretty balanced emotional life, and I take challenges head on, and I'm always learning and growing and developing and contributing and creating. I serve people around me, especially more so now that I don't work. I would love to help people, so I do. And I'm writing a book now, and I've written several, and I go on podcasts and get interviewed, and I exercise regularly and get sunshine, and I'm kind to people around me, and I don't have as horrible thoughts as I have experienced with my really sad childhood. Yeah, I would say I'm in a pretty good place, and I'm pretty lucky. So whatever little I do have, I do try to focus it on making sure that I'm in good repair so I can be of service to others. That's kind of where I've landed on my life, is just, I'd really like to be present and capable for my children as best as I can, in any way that I have control and power over myself. Obviously, as my hearing gets worse, what can I do, right? But I just do whatever I can to learn and grow and help. And I think those are good signs of a healthy, balanced person, no matter what they decide to eat or drink. So anyway, I'll do more in-depth about other things, but I feel like fresh, clean air and good, clean water are a good place to start with taking care of yourself. And when you've been through the kind of things that I've been through, I think it's really special to take the time and baby step yourself into caring very deeply for yourself like you would your own child. I know that I have done this for my babies, and it matters deeply to me. And so why wouldn't I do that for myself? And I'm at the point now where I have a water filter that I can just put water in, and it filters through with gravity, and it's pretty cheap and low impact and everything. And even Rosie gets it. I want her to live as good a life as possible, so even Rosie drinks filtered water, which is so funny because when we go on hikes, she drinks out of the whatever stream or river or waterfall we're at. It's just so funny. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, it's good. We need all kinds so that we build up resistance. It's good. And I've had, tap water, like, if I were to buy a coffee, like that would be made with tap water. So I haven't died. I didn't like make it so that I can never have tap water or something. I didn't like ruin my own self. I just don't do it very often so that my sweet little kidneys and liver, who have been through so much in my 37 years, especially because, of my really rough childhood, I like giving them a break. But anyway, that's one of my weird habits.